So we're here at the Taylor booth. I'm Dieter Rosberg from Guitar and Bass, and this is Andy Powers, one of the new owners.
Yeah.
Not of the new owners, but one part owner now, since August, I think, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel in your role?
You know, it's exciting. It's exciting for what it means for us as Taylor Guitars, because we get to go into the future for at least another generation with guitar making as the thing that drives us. You know, it won't turn into just a committee or a finance group that owns a guitar company. These are guitar makers. That's who we are. So we get to stay a company built of guitar people.
And nothing has changed. Oh, sorry for that. Nothing has changed because you still develop guitars, and we have.
I'm a guitar maker.
We have 4 new models here, right?
Yeah.
And just tell us something about. You have.
This particular guitar is what we call an 816 Builder's Edition. Now the idea was that we want to expand the types of guitars that we can make, because I like to make different sounds. I want them to be distinctly different because they fit a different musical context, and we all play different.
Right.
We listen different. Our hands are different. We're playing in different bands. You know, every one of these instruments needs its own unique personality. So when I was looking at the Grand Symphony guitar, I wanted to build something that had a lyrical, almost operatic or symphonic kind of quality into the sound. And
but it also got the V-Class.
Yeah, it's built on the V-Class architecture. And that platform is so adaptable, it allows us to control how we want the guitar to sound. So in this case, these notes, they sort of expand as they launch out of the guitar. It's like the note gets presented and then radiates outward and becomes richer as it decays. Every note has this beautiful lung capacity behind it.
I don't know if you see it on the picture, but it's got an additional sound here in the cutaway.
Yeah.
But it's not round. It's like
it's an elliptical sound hole. And one of the things that I was trying to accomplish with this guitar is that I wanted the effect of all these interesting ideas combined, but I didn't want it to look weird. And so from the player's perspective, this looks somewhat like a typical Florentine cutaway.
Right.
In fact, this ebony cutaway insert, I finished it like the same as the front of the fingerboard, so that it has a unique tactile quality and looks almost like a shadow in the guitar.
Right. You don't see the hole really.
Yeah.
But I can hear it, by the way.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Oh, it's pretty dramatic. It's one of those instruments that it's difficult to explain. The best thing that a player can do is simply pick one up and try it. And what they'll notice is a very unique sonic response.
You just mentioned that with the V-Class you could move the guitar and it sounds the same all the time. But with this one,
this one's very
completely
different. Yeah, because this guitar has such a unique kind of air motion that the way it sets the air surrounding the guitar in motion is very complex. And so your mic placement will vary a lot. You know, every one of those positions will be pleasant, but you're going to hear a lot of different colors as you move around.
It's fun. Completely different way. And this
guitar that you have is almost totally opposite end of the spectrum. This is an ultra fast transient response, super linear, super responsive, very vibrant type of voice.
And the neck feels like an electric guitar, and it plays really fast.
Yeah, it's meant as, in some ways, almost like the acoustic guitar for your lead guitar player, or your fingerstyle player, or somebody who's got a very complex style that needs the ultimate in balance and linear response. So this is a new 912 Builder's Edition.
We played them together. It sounded really good.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful.
feels like an electric guitar, which sounds like an acoustic. It's got good sustain and everything.
Yeah.
So another one.
So one of the other guitars that I'm very excited to be introducing is this 324 Builder's Edition. Mm-hmm. Now you're familiar with the K14 and the 614s. Before those guitars ever existed, there was this guitar.
Really?
Yeah, this was the first one I had originally designed when I set about going, I want to build a better sounding guitar, better feeling guitar. Let me take away some of those the lavish trimmings and whatnot. I want to focus on just the functionality. Well, this guitar we finally get to launch with a mahogany top, and the back and sides are particularly unique. Now the voicing of this guitar, it's right in the middle of what you would want an acoustic guitar to do. It's your familiar grand auditorium voice, but with the hardwood top you get this unique kind of natural compression effect.
Not the brittle hides.
Yeah, it's super responsive for almost any playing style. One of the really exciting attributes with this guitar is you're familiar with our kind of forward-thinking forestry projects. You know, the Koa project, the Ebony project, these things. One of the common themes there is that they're very long-term outlooks. A number of years ago, Bob and Scott Paul, our director of sustainability, and I had some parallel thoughts going. And, okay, well, what about now? What do we do for now or the immediate future? What can we do that's better? And we started looking in our own backyards. What's right here under our noses? Now, if you go throughout any city in the world, what you find is you have trees. You have trees growing in cities. They were planted and propagated there for all kinds of reasons, sometimes shade or maybe a noise barrier or wind barrier or something. We started looking at those trees to go, wait, what happens to these? Some of these surely could be good guitar making trees. Right now they're chipped up and cut for firewood or turned into mulch or something. This is a guitar with wood sourced from an urban forest.
Okay.
So we partnered with a company called West Coast Arborist. It's a brilliant forward-thinking arborist company. They maintain and plant and cut all the trees in all the cities here in California. Well, we partnered with them because they're looking at these trees thinking the same thing. Surely something could be done with this of higher value. Well, we got interested and introduced to them and realized this is an entire new kind of an arrow in the forestry quiver. It's an entire new approach to sourcing material. Let's make something of lasting value out of these trees that would have been otherwise lost. So this wood, it's called urban ash or shamel ash. It was propagated here in Southern California back in the early 1950s. And it has some really appropriate, like musically useful qualities. If you were to draw a comparison, it's similar in a lot of respects to mahogany. Has similar density, similar weight, similar resonance characteristics. So we started working with that. This is like a perfect ingredient to design this guitar around.
Good.
So the back and sides of this guitar are built with this beautiful ash that functions a whole lot like mahogany that we're familiar with, but with its own unique twist on the sonic response. So that's something we're really excited to be introducing.
Good.
It's actually one of the first kind of large-scale consumer usable things.
But you also have to wait a long time to make it to dry. It
takes
some time.
Every wood takes some time to go from a tree to a guitar. You know, you have to dry it, season it, prepare it.
But it works, right?
But
it's
it
not
works
different from the other ones.
It works amazingly well, and we've voiced this guitar uniquely to utilize that resource. So this is something we're really excited about.
So let me hear how it sounds. couldn't tell if it's a different wood, but the combination is great.
Yeah, the combination is very, very pretty.
Yeah.
So these are some exciting new ones for us. One of the last ones is we have this 652 12-string. This is an interesting piece we've added to the Builder's Edition collection. You're familiar with the small body 12 strings we introduced a few years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
This guitar I designed almost as a companion piece to that 912. It's a 12 string that we've adopted a more conventional electric 12 string stringing
the
system.
Rickenbacker thing,
Yeah, exactly. But with these somewhat electric guitar like body contouring, the real compact thing that was voiced to have this fundamental forward, real bold, almost electric-ish kind of response that makes you play in a different way.
Yeah, and because the strings are set up the different ones, different weights, you play it different, right?
Exactly. You could do like the
exactly
that kind of thing. Yeah, I love those sounds, and I wanted to build almost an electric voice, but take it into the acoustic space and make something usable for musicians looking for that kind of playing style.
And I think you can pick it too better because the biggest string is the first one you take.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, in some ways, it almost sounds more like a 6-string guitar with a little extra shimmer than what you'd think of as an acoustic 12-string guitar. So these guitars, these new 4, added to our other existing Builder's Edition guitars, makes for a really interesting, kind of musically appropriate,
completely different
suite of
sounds.
instruments.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Should we play one?
Yeah.
What you got?
What should we do?
You start, I'll follow.
Like always.
Yeah.